Hey, Lions Nation! We're back with another exclusive video bringing you all the latest news about our beloved Detroit Lions. Before we get started, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you never miss anything about the team. Now, let's get into the news. For someone who grew up cheering for the Detroit Lions, walking onto that practice field isn't just a moment of pride. It's a dream come full circle. Jack Campbell knows exactly what that feels like. From the outside, you'd think the story ends there, a young player living the dream of millions. But what happened next proved that Campbell's impact runs far deeper than football. That day at the Lions training facility, the mood was light, the players focused, and the usual energy of preparation filled the air. But when a member of the armed forces arrived, everything slowed down. The man wasn't there to talk about the game or strategy. He was there to talk about character, to shine a light on someone who's been giving back without fanfare or attention. Standing before the team, he spoke with genuine emotion about a player who didn't just wear the Lions uniform with pride, but who also took time to honor those who wear another kind of uniform, the men and women serving their country. That player was Jack Campbell. Even before his first official snap in the NFL, Campbell had already found ways to give back. Not long after being drafted, he reached out to soldiers from the Michigan National Guard stationed in Syria. Think about that for a second. A young man just beginning his professional journey, already reaching across the world to connect with people sacrificing everything for others. That's not common. That's leadership in its purest form. The soldier presenting the honor held something in his hand, a small but powerful symbol. It was a challenge coin, something sacred in military tradition, given as a token of respect, loyalty, and shared purpose. Along with the coin, he had a handwritten letter for Campbell, thanking him for his kindness and commitment to supporting those who serve. He didn't read the whole letter aloud, but he mentioned that it spoke about Jack's sense of duty, compassion, and the difference he's already making. As he handed the coin over, the energy in the room changed. You could see it in Campbell's eyes, the humility, the gratitude, the awareness of what that gesture meant. This wasn't about publicity or attention. It was about recognition between two worlds that share so much in common: football and the military. Both demand discipline, sacrifice, and unity. Both rely on trust and commitment to something bigger than yourself. And in that shared space, Jack Campbell stood as a bridge, a young athlete who understands that the game he loves is also a platform to serve others. Moments like that define a career in ways stats never can. Sure, Campbell is a fierce linebacker, known for his instincts, physicality, and relentless drive. But off the field, it's his heart that stands out the most. Since his days in college, he's been described as a student of the game, someone who leads not through words, but through action. He's the guy who stays late after practice, studies longer than anyone else, and never loses sight of where he came from. That mindset, grounded, selfless, and focused, fits perfectly with the city of Detroit. Detroit isn't a city of shortcuts or hype. It's a city of resilience, of people who show up, work hard, and fight for everything they earn. That's why Campbell belongs there. His story mirrors the city's story, one of grit, integrity, and quiet strength. When the soldier spoke about his dedication to military families, every person on that field felt the weight of those words. It wasn't just about one man being honored. It was about what this team is becoming. A group built not only to compete, but to care. For the Lions, this moment was symbolic. The franchise has gone through decades of ups and downs, heartbreaks and rebuilds. But now, the energy feels different. It's not just about chasing wins. It's about creating a culture of meaning. Having players like Jack Campbell at the core of that transformation is what makes the difference. It's easy to find talent, but it's rare to find someone who combines that talent with humility and purpose. When the brief ceremony ended, the soldier congratulated Jack once more and wished him luck with the national selection process, a recognition of his growing impact. Jack smiled, thanked him sincerely, and walked back to the practice field. There was no celebration, no grand gesture, just a man going back to work, carrying in his pocket a coin that symbolizes respect and brotherhood, a reminder of something bigger than football. For Campbell, that coin is more than just metal. It's a promise, a reminder that the platform he has comes with responsibility, that every practice, every game, every interaction is a chance to show what leadership really means. It's not about the headlines or the trophies. It's about the example you set when no one is watching. The Detroit Lions have found something special in Jack Campbell, not just a player, but a leader molded by empathy and discipline. His recognition by the military was more than a moment of applause. It was proof that football can unite people from different walks of life under the same values of respect, dedication, and service. And for Campbell, a lifelong fan who now wears the same jersey he once cheered for, this chapter is about more than fulfilling a dream. It's about honoring the people who make that dream possible, the fans, the soldiers, and the community that stands behind him. Every time he steps on that field, he carries all of them with him. Before we move on, take a second to drop a like and subscribe. That way, you'll stay up to date with every exclusive Lions update, and you'll even have a chance to win an official Detroit Lions jersey. Let's keep going. The NFL world has been shaken once again, and this time it's the Detroit Lions who are right in the middle of the storm. Reports are flooding in that SAQUON Barkley, one of the most dynamic and explosive running backs of this generation, has made a bold move, turning down a renewal offer from his former team to join the rising force of the NFC North, the Detroit Lions. It's not just a signing, it's a statement. A statement that the Lions are no longer satisfied with being the underdogs. They want to compete, they want to dominate, and Barkley's arrival could be the missing piece to push this team over the edge. For years, SAQUON Barkley carried the weight of expectations in New York. His speed, his agility, and his unique combination of power and finesse made him the face of the Giants' offense. Yet, despite his individual brilliance, the team often struggled to build consistency around him. Now, as the Lions' front office continues to transform Detroit into a true contender, Barkley saw an opportunity, a chance to join a project that's building something special. Sources close to the situation say the running back was deeply impressed by the culture Dan Campbell has established, one based on grit, accountability, and pure passion for the game. And let's be honest, this pairing makes a lot of football sense. Jared Goff has proven himself as a leader who can command the offense. But what he's been missing is that elite-level running threat who forces defenses to think twice before sending extra pressure. Barkley changes that equation completely. With his ability to explode through gaps and turn short gains into highlight plays, the Lions' playbook just got a whole lot more unpredictable. Imagine Goff running play action with Barkley in the backfield. Defenses won't know whether to drop into coverage or crash the box, and that's exactly what offensive coordinator Ben Johnson wants. Beyond the X's and O's, though, this is about identity. The Lions have spent the last few seasons proving they can go toe-to-toe with anyone in the league. They've beaten playoff teams, they've shocked contenders, and they've developed one of the most passionate fan bases in football. Bringing in Barkley sends a loud message. Detroit isn't looking for moral victories anymore. They're aiming for the postseason, and they want to do it their way, by running over opponents and dictating the tempo from the first snap. The negotiations, according to insiders, weren't just about money. Barkley wanted to be part of a system that values physicality and heart, something that aligns perfectly with Detroit's grit mentality. Campbell reportedly had several conversations with the running back, emphasizing not just his role on the field, but his leadership off it. The Lions' locker room is young and hungry, and a veteran like Barkley brings more than just stats, he brings standards. He knows what it means to carry a franchise on his shoulders, and now, he'll share that mindset with a group that's still carving its identity in the league. What's fascinating is how this move reshapes the NFC landscape. The Lions already had one of the top offensive lines in football, anchored by names like Penei Sewell and Frank Ragnow. Now, pairing that unit with a back like Barkley could make Detroit's ground game absolutely terrifying. We're talking about a potential top 3 rushing attack, one that can control the clock, wear down defenses, and open up explosive opportunities in the passing game for receivers like Amon-Ra, St. Brown, and Jameson Williams. Analysts are already speculating about how this move affects the balance of power in the conference. The Eagles and 49ers have dominated the NFC conversation for the past few years, but the Lions' steady rise can no longer be ignored. They made noise last season. Now, they're ready to roar. Barkley brings the kind of star power that elevates not just the offense, but the entire organization. Ticket sales, national broadcasts, fan engagement, all of it is about to surge. Detroit hasn't had this kind of buzz around a running back since Barry Sanders. And while no one is comparing the two, there's a shared sense of excitement, a belief that something big is brewing. Of course, there will be questions. Can Barkley stay healthy through the grind of a full season? Can the Lions balance his workload enough to keep him fresh for the playoffs? Those are fair concerns. But if there's one thing we've learned about Dan Campbell's squad, it's that they don't shy away from challenges. They face them head-on, and with Barkley's work ethic, it's hard to imagine him being anything less than a key leader in that locker room from day one. In the end, this move isn't just about football, it's about belief. The belief that Detroit is ready to win now, that this franchise has turned the corner from years of rebuilding to years of contending. And for SAQUON Barkley, it's a chance to rewrite his story, to prove that he's still one of the elite backs in the league when surrounded by the right system and the right mentality. The city of Detroit has been waiting for a headline like this. The fans, loyal through every heartbreak and rebuild, finally have a superstar who chose them. SAQUON Barkley to the Lions isn't just another off-season rumor. It's a declaration that the roar in Detroit is only getting louder. We bring you the latest Lions news every single day. So make sure you're subscribed, hit that like button, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a thing. And of course, drop a comment below with your thoughts on today's news. Your voice makes a difference for Lions Nation. See you in the next video.